My name is Ethan Cole, and I need to ask you something before I start. Have you ever done something in a split second, something small, something instinctive, and then spent the next several days wondering if that one moment changed everything? If that one decision left instead of right, stop instead of go, was the difference between your normal life and something you can never explain? I picked up a hitchhiker on Highway 9 last October. It was past midnight, it was raining, and I was alone. I know. Every horror movie starts exactly like this. I know that now. But here's the part that no horror movie ever prepares you for. It wasn't what happened that night that terrified me. It was what I found out the morning after. The man I gave a ride to the man who sat in my passenger seat for 40 minutes and told me things only a dead person would know had been killed on that exact stretch of highway. 10 years ago. Almost to the day. This is what happened. I was driving back from a story. A dead-end lead in a small town 3 hours outside the city. The kind of assignment that wastes a whole day and gives you nothing. I was tired, frustrated, and running low on coffee. The rain had been coming down hard for an hour, and my wipers were barely keeping up. That's when I saw him, standing on the side of the road, just past mile marker 31, a man, maybe late 40s, in a brown jacket. No umbrella, no bag, just standing there with his hand out, completely soaked. I drove past him, then I stopped. I don't know why. I never pick up hitchhikers. I'm a journalist. I've covered enough crime to know better. But something about the way he was standing there, completely still in the pouring rain, made me reverse the car. He got in without a word, closed the door, sat there dripping water onto my seat. Up close, he looked older than I thought. Deep lines in his face, calm, eyes, not grateful, not relieved, just calm, like a man who'd been waiting for exactly this. "Where are you headed?" I asked. He said, "Same place you are." We drove in silence for a few minutes. I turned the heat up. Outside, the rain kept hammering the windshield. The road was empty in both directions, just black asphalt, and white lines disappearing into the dark. He spoke first. "You're a journalist," he said. Not a question. "Yeah," I said. "How'd you know?" He nodded at the back seat. I had a recorder, a notepad, and a press badge sitting back there. Fair enough. "You're working on something dangerous," he said. I laughed a little. "Everything I work on is dangerous. That's kind of the job." He didn't laugh. He just looked straight ahead at the road and said, "Not like this. This one, they don't want it published, and they will do whatever it takes to make sure it isn't." I felt the back of my neck go cold, because at that exact moment, I was 3 days into investigating a story about a local politician connected to the disappearance of a witness in a federal case. A story I hadn't told anyone about. Not my editor. Not my roommate. Nobody. "Who are you?" I asked. "Someone who made the mistake of finding out the same thing you're about to find out," he said quietly. 10 years ago. For the next 30 minutes, he talked, and I listened. He told me about a man named Senator David Pruitt. He told me about a federal witness named Raymond Calls who had disappeared in 2014, officially ruled a voluntary disappearance. Case closed. He told me about a network of people who had been quietly making problems go away for powerful men for over 2 decades. And then he told me 3 specific things. 3 things I want you to understand were not public knowledge. Not in any article, not in any report, not anywhere online. He told me the name of the motel where Raymond Calls was last seen. He told me the name of the man who drove him there. And he told me where the evidence was hidden. A storage unit outside the city, unit number 47, registered under a name that meant nothing to anyone who didn't know what to look for. I was gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles were white. I wanted to pull over, grab my recorder, get every word. But something told me not to stop the car. Not here. Not on this road. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Because someone should have told me, before it was too late." I looked over at him. "What happened to you?" I asked. He didn't answer. He just pointed ahead at the road and said, "Your exit is coming up. Take it." I looked at the sign. He was right. My exit was 200 meters ahead. I put on the indicator, moved into the lane. When I looked back at the passenger seat, it was empty. No door had opened. No window. The car had been moving at 60 miles an hour. He was just gone. I pulled over and sat on the side of the road for 20 minutes, shaking. Then I drove home, wrote down everything he had told me from memory, and went to sleep telling myself there was a rational explanation. The next morning, I Googled the name he had given me. Not Senator Pruitt, I already knew about him. The other name, the man in the brown jacket on Highway 9. His name was Daniel Marsh, a journalist. Killed in a hit-and-run on Highway 9, mile marker 31, on the 19th of October 2014. Case unsolved. No arrests ever made. The storage unit? Unit 47? I found it. I won't tell you everything that was inside, not yet. But I will tell you this. Daniel Marsh had been right about everything. Every single name, every single detail. A dead man flagged me down in the rain to finish the story that got him killed. And I have never driven Highway 9 alone at night again. My name is Ethan Cole, and I am still here. For now.